Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's gonna be none other than MuleBot taking on QueenBot. And while they both have very unique names, I've definitely cast a few games of them in the past. QueenBot is the one more true to its name, I'll say. It builds pretty much just queens, whereas MuleBot would have a bit of a hard time if it made just mules. So understandably, it does make some other stuff, even saying Marauder Panic as its build. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. Join the Discord, which is linked down below, and leave a comment saying more bots if you want to see more of these bots. I recently adjusted my microphone settings yet again. Turns out I'm a big idiot for a couple of the videos when I was getting all set up again. I actually had my microphone backwards. And so then I'm like, that's weird. Why is it sounding off? So then I adjusted a setting to make it so that it like captured all around, so it was capturing basically from the back. And then I finally realized when I went to go press the mute button on it sometime, I'm like, that's on the wrong side. So mystery solved on that one, but as always, let me know if you have any feedback on the audio. I recently did up the game sound and the music a little bit, although I may punch it up a little bit more. Now, as far as the build goes, we've got QueenBot going for a fast third hatchery, understandably so. When you're only making queens, you kind of need lots of hatcheries to be able to do so. Whereas MuleBot, it is going for double racks opening, double racks, double gas, actually moving across the map already with one marine. This could pose a problem for QueenBot, as it doesn't really have anything to defend itself just yet. Now this one marine is crossing the map, but there is already a queen on the way, and they build fairly quickly, so I'm not sure this marine's going to find too much success. Now, there is a command center on the way for MuleBot, so it's not just going for a crazy all-in or anything like that. It is going to be macroing on up. This marine did shoot an overlord a little bit, but now for some reason it is caught between two worlds and going in, going out. I really don't know why that is. I'm guessing it's getting a bit of cross signals, and this is something that seems to happen with quite a few bots, in that they're like, oh, I should totally attack that thing, and then some other loop presumably is like, hey, bring the units home to defend. So, or it could just be like an evasion thing to constantly keep vision on something without getting too close to it. There's lots of reasons why these bot authors who program things do things that sometimes look a little illogical at times, but no one's going out and saying, hey, let's make a glitchy, derpy bot. They all have some design in mind. And sometimes that behavior gives you a breakdancing marine. Like in this case, we've got SCVs scouting out all over the place. QueenBot currently has got, let's do a queen count check, 5 queens and growing. This queen is going to push that marine away, and actually will kill that marine, so nicely done by QueenBot. MuleBot, on the other hand, is just making marauders, making marines, getting up a tech lab. Siege tanks are something that's very good against masked queens, so we'll see if MuleBot makes too many of those or not. For now, though, QueenBot is just droning on up. It needs a strong economy, a strong, primarily mineral-based economy. Just mining a bit of gas, presumably for upgrades, a layer down the line, that kind of thing. So we'll probably see those soon. But as we watch, this queen count is growing and growing, 4 at a time. Soon enough, there'll be a 5th hatchery, and then it'll be 5 at a time. You think you guys get the picture on this one? Meanwhile, MuleBot, it is making a tank, getting out some marines and marauders. And then QueenBot is spreading creep as well, because queens are incredibly slow units, so I guess that's one way to get around. Just put creep absolutely everywhere, which it should be pretty easy to do when you've got 1 million queens. We're currently up to 9 for QueenBot. No 5th base on the way just yet. However, the economy is growing at quite a rapid rate for QueenBot. It got a rather quick fourth base, and then A lair and double evos are on the way now as well, so there will be upgrades coming for those queens, which is important. Marauder randomly out on the map, just scouting out, and SCV is still moving around the map. We do have a third command center on the way for MuleBot. A lair is on the way for QueenBot, so it will be able to start 2-2 upgrades, presumably. No 5th base just yet, though. As I say that, there it is. 5th base on the way for the Zergbot, already up to 65 drones, and that is 65 drones basically just mining minerals, aside from these 2 extractors. So QueenBot actually is bringing in a lot of money for it to spend. A lot of queens can be produced, even more hatcheries on the way down the line, I imagine, although we are seeing MuleBot kind of counter this because it's MuleBot, it wants to make mules, so it's getting out a 4th command center. Building more tanks, building a more varied army than its opponent, that's for sure, though. And we actually have a Dropper Lord on the way for QueenBot. That is one way to get the notoriously slow queens a little faster. We've got this queen, I think, wanting to drop a tumor or something. This is one of the things where I think it's really good to have a delay on your units before issuing them commands. I don't know how practical that would be to actually implement as a bot author, but we do kind of get odd behavior, it seems, when bots are caught between 2 worlds. This queen, not sure what she's doing, but fortunately she has a lot of sisters that come and defend her. We've got hatcheries now building in the center of the map. One of them is eating siege tank shots, the other one is being shot at, so MuleBot may get a little bit of free damage. QueenBot, however, has got boatloads of money. There's actually a Nydus network about, well, already done for QueenBot, so that's another way for a potential large attack to get off. We'll see if QueenBot's going to do that. There is an Overseer moving right across the map. This could be really, really problematic for MuleBot. I mean, there's already 21 queens out, and if they're just in the main base, they can start dropping down creep tumors, causing all sorts of a ruckus. This tank is on the front lines, though. Actually, 2 tanks on the front lines causing problems, so we'll see if anything actually pops out of that Nydus, because I think most of the queens are busy dealing with this perceived threat at the front, letting a great opportunity go by, unfortunately, because they want to kill these tanks. One of those tanks did get actually taken out. A Raven has gone down too. There's another Raven on the front. That should be easy pickings, but yes, QueenBot is being prevented from using its what I think would be a great move, because it's programmed to deal with things that are attacking it. So MuleBot saving itself by being a little bit aggressive. We are seeing the queens now do a slow walk forward. Queens, they can't transfuse each other off of creep, so this is actually going to be a big weakness for them. That Nydus worm is still in the main base, but nothing was inside of it. So these queens, they're just going to do the slow walk towards the 3rd base. It is currently 29 queens on the map. I don't know if they're all here, but there's definitely quite a few queens. No transfuse, so they are useless with their energy count. Supply-wise, QueenBot has a nice lead, though. It's also got 1-1 upgrades done, whereas MuleBot does not. So while Marines and Marauders are better than Queens on paper, I don't know if MuleBot's ready to handle this. It's got, I mean, it lost 2 of its tanks by poking them forward, so it doesn't actually have that much stuff. We do have a 5th and a 6th base on the way for MuleBot, as it wants to be able to call down more mules, but we are now seeing Queens work away on a command center. A bunker's being attacked. It is actually being repaired. This could be a nice anchor point for MuleBot, as Queens just don't deal like any damage, so this bunker could just live forever. QueenBot, though, it is spreading creep all over the map. It's on a decent economy. I would like to see more workers, or just more hatcheries, actually, and that's exactly what it's doing, because it's got 4,000 minerals in the bank, which means it's not building nearly enough queens. We see another Nydus get built as soon as that one gets killed for QueenBot. I wonder if that's going to prompt it to actually use such a Nydus worm, but it looks like quite a few of those queens did go down. Only 11, so not too many lost for a command center, it would seem. Now, another Nydus is going to get attempted, so QueenBot seems to have no chill when it comes to utilizing this. And I am a bit sad we're not actually seeing that. Maybe these queens are hanging around waiting for that, but it's never going to get off with that siege tank. Looks like 2 queens actually get out. Now, they may take a few of these tank shots, so maybe this Nydus is actually going to have some success, as this queen is doing a great job of eating those tank shots, so this Nydus very well may get up. We'll see if these queens pop out, whether they're actually going to transfuse that Nydus. A creep tumor does go down, so now transfuse will be available shortly, and look at all those creep tumors getting placed down. They are close enough to this tank, but they're not shooting the tank. A Thor is also coming out. We may get an answer to the question, how many queens does it take to kill a Thor? Transfuses are being utilized, mass energy on these queens. They're really not attacking the one thing they need to deal with, though, which is this siege tank at the back. They're attacking buildings, they're attacking everything, but the tank does take a few shots, but these queens don't seem to be prioritizing enemy units too much. A Liberator tries its luck sieging on top queens. Unfortunately, they have amazing anti-air. We've got more queens waddling towards the front. 11 queens being made at a time. 3-3 upgrades on the way for them. So QueenBot currently does have an upgrade lead. It's making lots of queens, but this attack is having a tough time as it's just attacking like a starport when it really should be attacking something else. We've got 30 queens still out on the map, so there's many on the front, while there's not too many popping out of this Nydus worm. It's a bit of a distraction for MuleBot, though. Creep in the main base may be hard for it to clean up as well, although there is a Raven present. This Thor is killing lots and lots of queens. Already killed 9, 10 queens, just popping them off easily. If there's mass Thors being made, it could be problematic. Queens are on the front, though, targeting down the SCVs that are trying to repair this bunker. That's nice for QueenBot. MuleBot is, I mean, it's not at a horrible supply, but it's really being pressured here. Losing a Banshee, it didn't have Cloak. Its armories are going to be burning down. That may actually be the end of Thor production if the armory dies. Looks like another Nydus is being attempted, and the Overseer that was tasked to do that perished. We've got another one on the way, so QueenBot is a determined bot to just keep trying that again and again. More queens are attacking this third base, which is actually in quite a bit of trouble for MuleBot. MuleBot's bases really have been broken up. It's not going to have an easy time replacing these expansions either, as there's going to be creep all over the place. And yeah, MuleBot may be running out of money at some point here soon, as like, if it loses this base, then it's going to be kind of cut off from this one. The Red Terran does have a nice bank to it, though. It just needs to really get that production going. Like I said, though, no more Thors can be produced, and they were pretty good. It's like another Nydus worm gets shut down as MuleBot is kind of just hanging out in its main base. It's got lots of tanks, but QueenBot has the world at its fingertips. Oh, what was that in the main base? Was there maybe some Liberator harassment or something that I missed? Pardon me. Regardless, though, yes, QueenBot has got so many bases. It's just mining at a steady rate off 63 workers, making nothing but queens. And oh my gosh, that is so many queens. There's 2 Thors, like 4 tanks trying to hold the line. There's so much transfuse going on. This is what happens when a bot can transfuse. You think your macros are good as a player? It turns out queens with mass transfuse can, well, with a literal bot, can do it a little bit faster. QueenBot flexing on MuleBot, saying 85% of the map covered in creep. That's too much, man. And we are actually seeing one of those Thors go down. They're trying their best to hold on. SCVs are repairing the tanks, but the Thors are not getting some love. And oh my gosh, the queens, the March of the Queens, it's in full effect as the MuleBot is, I think, just probably dead here. It's got 1 tank on the high ground. Who knows how many queens that has killed? Well, we have an answer as we click on it. 11. A ghost is going to snipe a queen from the low ground. There's lots of Widow Mines hanging out too. The problem is MuleBot is kind of compromised here, and QueenBot, she can just keep pumping these out as these queens are walking forward. They're kind of walking off the transfuse or the siege tank shots. They're like, yeah, whatever, I'll just get transfused a million times and be fine. So these tanks are actually having a hard time getting kills. SCVs are repairing the tank on the high ground, but it's actually going to go down. Queens don't deal that much damage, but with +3, apparently they deal enough. Widow Mines are now going to start firing on queens, but they are a dime a dozen, it seems, for QueenBot. A Liberator, not the best thing to deal with queens. The creep is being pushed up, I think, with this too. It is indeed. There's now queens in the main base as they've started popping out of the Nydus. They come from within. And oh my gosh, the queens, it's just too many queens. 64 queens. I think QueenBot is one of the older bots. It's like, what can I do with a bot? And it's an example that never gets old, I don't think. MuleBot, it's still got a good amount of money. If it spent all its money and suddenly made, I don't know, what would that be, like 88 Marines or something? And it grouped them all up, it may just be able to kill all the queens, but it did not do such a thing. MuleBot came, I don't know, it came to see a show and it turned out to be a circus. I don't know. But that is too many queens, man. And I do think MuleBot is dead here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched all the way to the end of this shenanigans, click that like button if you haven't already. I certainly enjoyed casting this one. It is just such a goofy, goofy match. And yeah, if you want to see more of this content, you're not subscribed, you can click that subscribe button and become it. And yeah, click that bell to get notified whenever I put up a new video. That is, I don't think I can add much more to this, to be honest. MuleBot thinking about resigning? I think it probably should. I don't know if it can. I don't think there's a spot MuleBot can build on this map anymore. There's maybe it could fit like a racks or two there, but it's the map certainly is more than 85% creep at this point. How many creep tumors are we looking at? 653. GG.